Today. Why did you decide to participate in the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant?
I decided to participate in the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant because I feel that
It is what?
it is a great honor to participate, and not to mention it is also a chance for me to earn a scholarship to go to college, in which I hope to pursue after high school.
Okay, sure, you're going to pursue it. I don't think you young people have any other choice but to go to college or some technical school or go into the military. You are the first generation. You are our first generation that can really get in the business of making money.
Right.
Now, you're representing Putnam City. Did you go to school in Putnam City?
Yes, ma'am.
Where?
I attend Putnam City North High School.
Oh, that's good. Are you making good grades?
Yes, ma'am. I'm a 4.0 student.
A 4.0 student.
Oh,
What
yeah.
is your favorite subject?
Science.
What kind of science?
Biology, science of the human body.
Why do you think you're so interested in science?
I plan to pursue a career in medicine after college.
All right. Now, I know that you are interested also in languages. Have you studied any foreign language?
I've taken 3 years of Spanish.
Oh, and you can speak Spanish.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, well, that's really good. I wish you could speak. That's really commendable. I know one thing. If I were in charge of education, I would make sure that every American student would at least be able to speak 3 different languages. And that's why so many foreign students come in and they can out-educate, they just go ahead of our students because they have learned various languages. Now, participating in the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant, you know you'll be in strong competition.
Yes, ma'am.
Talent? Do you really have talent?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of talent do you have?
Actually, I do a modern dance to a classical piece by Mozart.
Oh, modern dance? Who taught you how to dance?
I've been dancing since I was 2.
Have you ever participated in any other pageants?
Yes, ma'am. I participated in pageants since I was 4 years of age.
Since you was 4? Okay, name some of those pageants.
I've been in the Little Miss Sunshine, Little Miss Oklahoma, Miss Oklahoma Preteen, and Miss Oklahoma Junior Teen.
You've been in all those pageants. How did you come out?
In the Miss Oklahoma Junior Teen, I placed first. In the Little Miss Sunshine, I placed first runner-up. In the Miss Oklahoma Junior Teen, I placed in second runner-up.
I don't mean to be personal, but how do you think you're going to come out in the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant on June 30th at the Bricktown Plaza Hotel?
I feel that I will come out on top.
On top. That means you're going to beat all other young people in this state.
Yes, ma'am.
You think you're going to beat Langston University, Oklahoma State, Rose State, Clinton? Do you think you're going to beat all? Not really. Now, do you think you're going to do it?
Yes, ma'am. I have a positive attitude towards winning.
What is your platform?
My platform is the awareness of ovarian cancer in African American women.
Okay, why did you select that as a platform?
My life has been touched deeply by my grandmother, who has died of ovarian cancer due to the lack of knowledge that African American women have.
Is that the only person in your family that has died from cancer?
No, ma'am. There have been numerous others, but that was just the closest one to me recently.
And you're going to become a spokesman for cancer research.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we are down to the nitty-gritty of the pageant. What are you going to do when you lose the pageant?
If I lose the pageant, I will look at it as a stepping stone. There are many things that you apply yourself to in life, but you don't always come out on top.
What are you going to do if you win the pageant?
If I win the pageant, I will represent Oklahoma in a positive way, giving it a little taste of something they probably never had before.
Okay, now when I interviewed you, as I do other contestants, I told you that I was not easy to work with.
Yes, ma'am.
Did that come out clear?
Yes, ma'am.
It's certainly a business with me because I know the young ladies that will participate in the pageant. We aren't only preparing them for the pageant, we are talking about life, and life is tough. Life is hard. Now, you've been in all those pageants, and you must have had some outstanding backing. Who backed you in all these pageants?
My family has been the strongest backing that I've had in my church.
Your church? What church do you belong to?
I attend Holy Temple Church of God in Christ.
And that church is not supporting you. I noticed they had a whole page ad.
Yes, ma'am.
Congratulating you in the souvenir book, and I do hope that other churches will also. We need church support because these young people will need to know that we have the backings of the church.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now I know you would like to thank all of the people that have bought tickets and ads for you. I will give you at least 10 seconds to do that.
I'd like to thank all of my sponsors, all of my church, my family, and everyone else who has supported me in my venture to win Miss Black Oklahoma.
Do you have any more tickets left?
I have got, I believe, 8.
8 tickets left. I'm sorry, I don't have any left. And those of you that want tickets, you better call out here at the radio station, and maybe you can get one of the 8. I would like to thank you so very kindly for being my very distinguished guest today. How about that, April?
Yes, that is great. It's very nice meeting you. Very nice meeting you, Alexis. Now, before you go, I have one quick question. So, what would you say after all this time of working with Clara Luper and knowing so much about her, what would you say is probably the one thing that stands out most?
She is a very strong woman, and I feel that if more women were strong like her, then less women would fail in life.
Great.
Oh, I love that.
I know. She's sharp. Very well poised.
Yeah, I don't necessarily have a question, but I do have a comment. I didn't know that she was going to be on today, Miss Alexis Brown, but I have known her probably, 90% of her life, and I must say, yeah, it's been she was about as tall as this counter when I first met her. I grew up with her family, and I must say that your family has done a very good job in grooming you. For a young person, you articulate yourself very well, and I'm very happy to see you, turn out the way that you did.
Will you be at the pageant?
I'm going to be very honest with you. I can't honestly say right now.
Okay, I'm a blackologist, and I can look at people and tell whether they're going to support us or not.
Oh, okay.
Because my experience and part of my education has been the fact that people look at you and say, "Oh, Miss Luper, I'm praying for you." I say, "Well, I really thank you for praying for me, but would you mind helping one of my contestants? One of my girls is trying to go to college, and then they start telling, well, Miss Luper, I got to go. I got some business to take care of." Well, I'm a blackologist. Thank you so very kindly for being a part of my program today. And don't leave because we might have something else for you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I would like now to introduce my second guest.
Okay.
As we think about Oklahoma, we've got to think of people that are working to make Oklahoma a better state. And I'm honored today to have a young man whose name has been carved in the pages of Oklahoma history. I've known this young man for years and years. I knew his family. He had a father that was a dreamer, who dreamed of a better day for his children and the people in a town that's known all over this country, and that town of Bowley. So today I have as my guest Forrest Lee. How are you today, Mr. Lee?
I'm fine. Thank you for that fine introduction, Clara.
Oh, well, thank you for thanking me for that for that fine introduction. Now, I know you're part of that Lee family, right?
True.
Your father founded what business that still lives today?
Smoke Aroma Incorporated, manufacturer of barbecue and hamburger equipment that's sold internationally.
All right, now I know it's sold internationally because I've been through the plant and it's outstanding. And I know that your brother's son is now the president?
Yes.
Oh, that's something. And your brother was the president.
Yes.
What
and
position
I was
did you?
president when I left.
Okay, now wait a minute. Now, let me get all these Lees together. Let's call them by name.
Okay.
What Lee was the first president? That was your father.
M.W. Lee Sr.
M.W. Lee Sr. Okay. After M.W. Lee Sr., who was the next president?
Maurice Lee Jr.
Maurice Lee Jr. After Maurice, who was the next president?
Myself, Forrest Lee Sr.
Forrest Lee Sr. And now the president is?
Maurice Lee III.
All right, now you're selling what all over the world?
Right now, I'm selling Northeast Oklahoma
No,
City.
I'm not talking. I'm not talking about Northeast. I'm talking about what you're selling out of bowling.
Barbecue equipment is a unique barbecue machine that smokes meats and other foods under pressure. My father had 7 patents on it.
All right, you're also selling barbecue sauce.
Yes,
Because
and all the
when I
other
was in-
condiments.
When I was down there, I bought some, and it is delicious. And I'm telling you, we don't know what we have until we go and taste it. Go to bowling, and when you're there, be sure to go and visit the Smokorama and tell them you heard it on Open Mic. Okay. Now, Mr. Lee, you're retired as president, and you're now living in Oklahoma City.
Yes,
Is that correct?
that is correct.
Now, are you working?
I have a job with the Capital
You have
Chamber
a
of
job.
Commerce.
Okay. I just want to know if you're retired and you're going home to...
A good job, by the
Okay,
way.
you have a good job. Okay, and you are the CEO of what?
I'm the executive director and president of the Capital Chamber.
Okay, of the Capital Chamber. I thought that was the Northeast Chamber.
We represent Northeast Oklahoma City, which the capital is part of it, and we're in the vicinity of the capital.
You are in the vicinity of the Capital, so you changed the name to Capital.
It was originally the Capital Chamber. They were incorporated in 1989 by a group of individuals who wanted to do something about Northeast Oklahoma City.
Okay, they wanted to do something about it. Now you are president, and my next question is, what are you doing about it?
Okay, we have the revitalization of Northeast 23rd Street, which we plan to do some enhancements along...
Okay, you say you're revitalization. What do you mean by that big word? You know, I'm from Hoffman.
Hey,
What do you mean by revitalization?
I didn't learn big words like that till I got up here. I'm Bowley. But it means that we're going to revitalize it, bring it back. We're going to do some enhancements with the curb, the light curbs, the lighting, streeting, and of course the city in the last bond issue, there's going to be paved, and a number of things. We also have the East Side Capitol Gateway that's an
Okay,
urban...
now let's go over first. You're going to take care of the streets.
Yes, and the other, yes.
Okay, and then the curbs. What are you talking about, the curbs?
New curbing, sidewalks, and that sort of thing. We have a contract from $1.5 million contract from the Oklahoma Department of Transportation to do those things.
Just a minute, you have what?
A $1.5 million contract with the Oklahoma Department of Transportation to do these things.
Okay, go on, tell me more.
It will be an ongoing contract. We're hopeful late in the coming years that we will redo the street from I-35 to 235.
I-35 to 235. Well, that seems familiar. What are you calling it?
That's the Clara Luper corridor.
Well, say it.
That's the Clara Luper corridor.
You're going to redo that with beautiful curves and all of that.
Make it as beautiful as the lady herself.
All right. Okay, now, you're doing that, and I know that you had a cleanup campaign. Why did you start out with a cleanup campaign? You call it a trash out or a trash day or something?
It was a trash off, and we thought this was a great place to start. If we're going to redo something about Northeast 23rd, the Clara Luper corridor, we thought first we better clean it up.
That's right.
Okay, were you successful? Did you get people involved in it?
Over 200 people showed up to do that.
With sacks to pick up trash?
Yes.
You fed them too, didn't you?
Yes. Well, the merchants and the people who participated, we had good participation out of the Clara Luper corridor merchants.
Now, when you say you're going to do this at 23rd Street, what are you going to do about the businesses on Northeast 23rd Street?
We have an urban pilot program, which is the East Side Capitol Gateway. And this is a group, not the street. The street is the Clara Luper corridor.
Okay, well, please.
Now, that group is an urban pilot program, which is a Main Street program, which is part of the Oklahoma Department of Commerce. They will do something about the buildings themselves. The transportation contract takes care of things from curb to curb. The Department of commerce contract will take care of the, help pay care of the buildings. Obviously, the merchants will need to do this themselves, but the group is very fired up, and I think you're going to see a lot of great things coming from that.
As a blackologist, I know that the black merchants are not able to do it by themselves. Will they be able to get loans like other businesses?
We have a grant from the city of Oklahoma City for $80,000, and by the way, it was just renewed. This will help us to search out low-interest loans, grants, any way that we can find out to help them. Tying them together with contractors, the whole bit, any way that we can assist.
You got a grant for how much?
$80,000, and it was just renewed for another $80,000.
Okay, you have a grant for $80,000, and that's going to help the merchants on this. Well, everybody's talking about donuts, but I would like to tell you that Geronimo has better donuts than some other donut place that come to Oklahoma City. And I'd like for you all to go down to Geronimo's and taste the donuts, and then go somewhere else and taste. You're going to come back and agree with me. Mm-hmm. Now, do you have any new businesses on the east side?
Well, certainly we have several new businesses in the last 2 years that I've been here. Most of them are fast food, but we have Popeyes, Del Rancho's, and of course you had Eckert's, Hollywood Video, just a number of new businesses that are coming in. And I think you're going to see more as we go along. We have now also in the northeast quadrant the Lincoln Renaissance, where they're cleaning up Lincoln Boulevard. You have the new $50 million History Center, which we expect minorities will get a good participation in that. You got Deep
We don't
Deuce.
have to have a good participation.
They are members of the chamber, and they have assured us they would.
Okay, and you have what else?
Deep Deuce.
Oh.
Got a lot of stuff going on in northeast Oklahoma City.
All right, now I noticed you have a new fish place in Oklahoma City, Mr. Catfish.
Right up at 23rd and Bryant, I believe.
Okay, and you also have a automobile place next door, and you have so much. But what we've got to learn as black people and as white people that want black people to succeed is that we can't succeed unless we get support.
Amen. And chamber really needs a lot of support.
Okay, you need support.
Amen.
Do you have, okay, now you've been president for how long?
For 2 years.
For 2 years you've been president. Now the way I evaluate things, for example, I have had the opportunity to let the public evaluate the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant. Mm-hmm. I presented a page, a contestant past one president. I have presented a young man who is part of the escort program. And now let me ask you this. When you became the president of the Chamber of Commerce, how many members did you have?
13.
You had 13 members?
Yes.
You had one more than Jesus had decided. 13 members. Now, it's been 2 years. Do you now have 20 members?
No, we got a few more. We got 160.
Wow. You have 160 members.
Yes, and they're the cream of the crop of Oklahoma City's leadership, including Clara Luper.
Oh yeah, you finally picked up my $100 check. All right, now let me ask you this: you have grown from 13 to over 100 members.
Yes.
How many members do you want?
We want at least 500
well,
in the next year or two.
Just tell the people, why the next year or two?
Because we need... we want to keep these things happening in northeast Oklahoma City.
Well, if you want them, just tell the people out there. You have people out there that work and have good jobs and good opportunities and want to see this thing grow. Mm-hmm. And just tell them what you want and where they can come and do something.
All right, things are happening in northeast Oklahoma City, and if you really want them to keep them happening, you need to call the chamber 427-4444. Things are not going to happen unless we do things over here ourselves, and we are in desperate need of memberships. Please call 427-4444, and we can
Wait a minute,
direct
now,
you
what
from
is
there.
that number? I want to make sure I have it.
427-4444.
Okay, let me switch you back to April for a minute.
Now, and actually, I even recall at the luncheon that we went to with for the Capital Chamber, where minorities in the Capital Chamber of Commerce has gone up too, from starting off like I think 3% to now 34%. So that's a very good number as well. Is that correct?
Yes.
Do you have any whites in the chamber?
Yes, and many of your major corporations in Oklahoma City are members.
I'm talking about these individual whites that prayed for us, so I never shall forget how they prayed for us, because when we moved on the east side, many of them took their Bibles and moved to the west side.
No, we still have white people, and we need everybody's support.
Okay, so you want all my good white friends are invited to become members.
Yes.
Along with other minorities that have grown because of our involvement.
Yes.
Okay, now I understand that the Katy Railroad is building, coming to Oklahoma City, and having a walking and a bicycle trail. Do you know anything about a train that's coming through northeast Oklahoma City?
I know about the bicycle trail. I understand that from what I've heard, it's just talk right now, but I don't know what the ultimate or firm plans are for that. There is talk of a train going, I think, from that area up to the north or part of the city.
You mean to tell me that they have not contacted you about this train that they are going to run through here from Bricktown out to Remington Park?
I know about the trolleys doing that.
But they are building, if you go down Northeast 16th Street, before you get to Page, you will see what they are doing.
Okay.
They're getting ready to run a train in here, and I want you to get on that telephone and call them and tell them that you are the president of the East Side Chamber of Commerce, and you want to know exactly what's happening.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The luncheon that we attended, you honored various people, and I would like for you to talk about them. And I would also like for you to talk about that dynamic address that was delivered by Russell Perry.
Okay, Mr. Perry, he was our main speaker at the luncheon, Secretary for Economic Development and Special Affairs, and certainly president of Perry Publishing. He advocated that the community rely on the accumulation of wealth as a formula for success. He congratulated the Chamber for our efforts, by the way, and he received a standing ovation for his well-timed remarks.
Oh, that was just wonderful. And he also stated that we've got to do more than build churches and do a lot of talking. We've got to get down to wealth.
Economic development.
That's right, because somebody came to me and was telling me about what we should do about Africa, and they were becoming all Africanized. I say that Africa is certainly a great continent, but the Africans can't help themselves. So we've got to help. We've got to help ourselves. And I would like for all my friends from Africa to come to the east side and do some shopping. And then if you help us build the east side, and even if some of you will move to the east side, that would help our city.
That's right.
And we're going to make the east side such that they'll want to come here.
Well, I know one thing, and I always brag about this. We have black power. We have the power to move in a neighborhood and move all the whites out. Because that's what you call black power. We don't need any guns or anything. We just move in and they move out. Now, I know why they moved out of my neighborhood, because they know they couldn't keep their yard as well as I would keep mine.
Okay.
Okay, now, I want to get very serious now. We thank you for your support. You supported us during the Soul Bazaar. You're going to support us during the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant. And I know what you have seen here today and what you've heard. You are anxious to become involved. Tell me about some of the other people that were honored during the luncheon.
Okay, we honored Larry Bradley, who was a past chairman of the Chamber for outstanding leadership.
Larry Bradley, who used to work for Southwestern Bell.
Very same. We also honored Jan Sullivan for Bank of Oklahoma for our Outstanding Corporate Award. Valerie Thompson.
How do you get to be the Outstanding Corporate Award?
Your support of the Chamber.
Okay, I just wanted to know. Okay, thank you.
Valerie Thompson, president of the Greater Oklahoma City Urban League.
Oh, great. They say she's the new Sonora. She's following in the steps of Sonora. Okay.
All right. Dick Bashir, president of First Security Bank.
Oh, wonderful.
I got the Hall of Fame Award for over 25 years of continuous service. Odell Smith, president of Smith
Printing company. Oh, Odell.
Okay, Gregory Giles, a newcomer, president of Insight.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. That is really wonderful. Well, it was wonderful to have that luncheon. That was your second luncheon?
Yes, and it was very successful. Had over 300 people to come out.
Oh, yes, I know, because Mrs. Lady Ruth Hunter and I wouldn't miss it for nothing. Okay, those of you that are sincere, I'm talking about whether you're black or white and you want to see the East Side grow. As a blackologist, I call upon you to support the Chamber of Commerce. I would like for you to do it. Is there anything else that you would like to say to all of our people?
Well, I'm just going to say that our mission is working together to bring new business, new energy, and new life to Northeast Oklahoma City. We think we're doing that, but we need your support. Join the Chamber. Call 427-4444.
All right, join the Chamber and support. When do you meet?
Where do we meet? We move around meeting. We have quarterly meetings of the membership. Our people are notified by mail so that they will know where we meet. The board meets monthly.
Where?
It moves around. We try to place it with one of our members, and we try to do business with our members.
We hope that you all will visit Freedom Center, the home of the prize-winning NAACP Youth Council, and the only place in the United States of America where you have a monument to blacks and whites that have fought for freedom. So you're welcome to meet there one day.
I accept that invitation.
That's 2609 North Martin Luther King in Oklahoma City. And incidentally, tomorrow the young president of the NAACP Youth Council will be here as my very distinguished guest. April, can you think of anything else we need? We're going to open the mic and let the people shoot at him.
Yeah, I think we need to go ahead and open up the phones. But you know what, Mr. Lee, before you step away from the mic, I have a question because I think this is great. The $80,000 grant to help businesses all along the east side. And this kind of just takes me back to what your father probably had to go through getting his own business, the barbecue equipment, started. What kind of hurdles did he face trying to get his business started?
Well, certainly it was a struggle. We had to educate people about barbecue. It was to the restaurant industry. Certainly individuals knew about barbecue, but it wasn't a popular item with the restaurants, and that was where our equipment was sold. So we had to educate them. We had to advertise. We had to do the whole bit. We didn't have a lot of money, so we had to learn how to do everything ourselves. But we got out, and the thing to have is tenacity. Stick to it, keep trying. And eventually, you'll conquer.
See, and that's great because now, instead of having anyone having to face those hurdles now, if you're your own businessman or trying to get into entrepreneurship, now, through the Capital Chamber, they can actually help you out and assist you to where maybe you don't have to go through so many struggles. So what we're going to go ahead and do is go to the phone lines. Now, the number to call is 460-5877, or for Southwestern Bell, cell phone users is star 1140. And good morning, caller. You're on open mic.
Good morning. I'm so excited to get through and hear Miss Luper and guest. I was just wanted to say that I hope they would seriously consider having you on this station. Your enthusiasm and just how you are just helps to enlighten the community and the city. It is very important that you be heard, and you're sharing your time with others in the community is so valuable. I said that you're the boss. When you come on, your experience and your concern and your history is such a legend that, Mr. Perry, they must consider. Would you consider that?
Well, I didn't know I was the boss, and I think I've never been the boss. I've never wanted to be the boss. I wanted only to be a member of a team. I will always do whatever I can because I want you to remember me for only one thing. I'm doing the best that I can on the little time that I have on this little planet known as Earth. Thank you so much for calling.
Ma'am?
Yes.
Are you there?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, good. Well, when I say that, it's if you looked at the city needs you so much. I know that you have a show, I believe, on another
Yes, I do have a show every Saturday at 9 o'clock.
every Saturday, and you deal with certain things there, but your voice here is just so very important, and I'd ask the community to please call or fax the station, and if you support that, to have Miss Luper on regularly, because she not only brings herself and what she stands for, but also she brings others into the community, and she shares her valuable time and her love with all of those around her. And that's what I have learned even more from listening to you this week. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're going to go ahead and go to the star line. Good morning, caller. You're on open mic.
Good morning. I was really calling to compliment Miss Clara Luper for the great impact that she's had on me. My name is Tracy Johnson. Miss Luper, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
How you been?
Huh?
How have you been?
I have been fine.
Good. Again, it's been 20 years since you were my teacher, and you're still an influence today. So, again, that's to commend you for the wonderful person you are.
Do you own your own home?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, yes, I was your teacher. My dad used to tell us, what you do, you buy your home, because I don't want to see you with owning only the dirt under your fingernails. That's what my dad said.
Okay, so Ms. Luper, you have a good morning, and I'll see you soon.
Well, thank you.
All righty.
Let's go back to the jam line. Good morning, caller. You on open mic?
Yes, I was calling to tell Ms. Luper she has done a great job.
Caller, can I get you to turn your radio down?
That she has had on other people. I also want to ask Ms. Luper, I am a young female that is trying to do good in the community too, but with the younger people. And we've been having a hard time trying to get the support to help those kids that before they commit crimes, before they get into trouble and things like that. And for supporting, I've run into a lot of roadblocks where people that suggest that they are for this and for that, but can't get any support in helping get this sponsored or funded or just leading us in the right direction. Do you have any suggestions for that?
It all depends on what you want. What are you asking for?
I'm asking, do you have any directions that you could possibly lead us in to do a program? We've gotten incorporated, but no one wants it on the northeast side. And my thing is, yes, we do have a lot of programs and things on this side, but I look at it as not that we are just wanting it all on the east side, but the fact is we're trying to help the people that, the kids that we live with, the kids that we deal with every single day. And we've just been having a hard time getting supported funding for this program. And I think it will do a lot of good for the community. I think that, this is a field that I work in. I've been working in for almost 9 years and have seen a lot of kids that are falling through the cracks because they don't have that beginning help. And as a person that's motivated, person that has went through the process of, getting incorporated and getting a program to try to get it started, it's just as far as funding has been a roadblock for us. And we looked at, fundraisers and things like that, and we just need that support in how to get that going and funded.
Well, in the first place, turn your radio down. When you continue to say we, I don't know what group you're talking about. I know this. W.B. Du Bois told us at the turn of the century that out of every 100 blacks, only 10 was going to do anything. So what you've got to do is to contact thousands of people and then get your support, because the support is out there. Now, there's no kidding about it. I've had the opportunity through the years since 1957, and take a busload of young people to the NAACP convention. Everybody didn't support me, but a lot of bodies supported me. And this year, I'm taking a group to New Orleans, Louisiana. Everybody doesn't support me with the NAACP, and I would be ashamed to be either black or white and didn't support the NAACP, because the NAACP has brought more businesses to Oklahoma City than you can even imagine. I am saying that everybody is not going to support you. But what you're going to have to do is what we are doing in the NAACP Youth Council. We have to go in our pockets and support our own programs, because we've got to go pick up our kids using our gas. We got to bring them up. We've got to convince the parents. Now, I don't work too well with older, cemented idea people. And I don't waste my time with them, because they cannot see beyond their own experiences. And what we've got to realize is how the world is changing, and keep talking about the change. Because who would have believed that Clara Luper from Hoffman, Oklahoma, would be entertaining young people from Saipan and from China and Japan in her own home, in her backyard by her lake on Saturday? Nobody would have believed that. But I did.
That's right. Caller, did you have another question or anything?
Is there any way that I can contact you and just kind of sit down and maybe get some ideas from you?
Okay, sure, you can always contact me. My office number is 424-2384, and I'm there sometime. My home number is 424-3949. But when you come to me, bring it in black and white. Okay. Because as a blackologist, I don't believe what people tell me. Because people will tell me that they are going one way, and I look, they'll tell me they're going east, and when I look, they're headed west.
All right. Well, Miss Luper, I have that in black and white, and I just need to know, a direction. And you've been a good leader, and you've, shown that it is a light at the end of that tunnel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, caller. And we're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break, and we will be back with Clara Luper.
Here's news of note. According to a recent survey, music is one of the most important factors in keeping America's children away from drugs.
Community Juneteenth Cultural Awareness Weekend celebration. That's going on June 17th, right in Shawnee, and it's called Praising in the Park. The time, it starts at 2 p.m. That's again on Sunday, June 17th, Father's Day. Special groups will be Spiritual Eagles, Voices of Faith, Bobby and the True Believers, and gospel choirs from Shawnee, Wawoka, and they're just asking for everyone to come on out. And if you want more information, you can call Reverend Michael Brooks at 601-5840. That number again is 601-5840. And then also, do you have problems with your driveways? How about your mailbox or sidewalk, or even maybe your church or home has some cracks? Well, A&H Construction Company can help you out. That's right, they can fix it. All you have to do is just give them a call at 424-7826. Mention that you heard it on Power Jam at 1140. They'll give you $50 off. And I have a caller that's been waiting so patiently on the phone. Let me go ahead and go to her. And good morning, caller. You're on Open Mic. Do you have a question or comment? Hello, caller. Are you there?
Yes.
Okay, great. You have a question or comment?
Yes, I wanted to just say I would also like to commend Mrs. Clara Luper for doing an outstanding job in the black communities. And I'd also like to say to the last caller, don't give up. Whatever you're trying to do, it's got to be worth it. Now, I'm a black woman who has looked into the black communities, and I realize the many problems that black people face, or that we face in the black communities and things like that. And I want to do something. What I don't understand is, what I would like to suggest rather, is that the people who do have existing programs and things like that for the communities, is that they make it more known advertise better. Let people know that there are existing programs, and tell us what we can do, because there are a lot of people that want to help, and I think that might be a start for getting programs funded and things like that, because I want to do something.
Okay.
I have no idea where to start.
Okay, you may start by becoming a member of the Chamber of Commerce.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I said you could start, because Mr. Lee has told you this morning that he needs members in the Chamber of Commerce. Is that right, Forrest?
Absolutely.
Okay, I was listening to that too, and I was planning to give him a call.
And you can call. It's 427-4444.
427.
4444.
Okay.
Okay, do you have another question, caller?
No, that's it. I just want to say, Ms. Luper, I love you. I love what you stand for, and just keep up the good work.
Well, thank you, and thank you for loving me. But I love barbecue too. And
that's right.
And they are having a barbecue cook-off. And those of you that think you can barbecue, why don't you get in? And they are going to give some big prizes. That's on June the 23rd in front of the Ralph Ellison's Library. Now, they have side entrance, and naturally you have to pay to get in it. But the award will be out of sight. They're giving a prize for the best booth. They're giving the first, second, and third place award. Now, those of you that think you can do barbecue, why don't you get in that contest? Is that right?
Yes, and that same number, call 427-4444.
I understand they're going to have free live entertainment, music, and games. Well, as far as what I do, and April and all of you, I tell people that if you love me, prove it now. Because as a blackologist, I watch people. When people die, they bring flowers, food, and all of that. Well, I don't want you to do that for me, because I can't smell the flowers nor eat the food. So what I want you, if you got anything to do for me, I want you to do it now. What do I really want you to do is support the young people, support the organizations, stay out of trouble. I'm so tired of seeing black people in prison. We don't have to go to prison. We don't have to steal. We know how to do without. And I told you that I was going to have some people from the insurance company here, but I found out that I would have to go through some technical things that I was not able to do. But I can tell you one thing, for sure, we all going to die. And because we're going to die, we need some insurance. And a lot of times people die, and you really have to cry because you don't have any insurance to bury them. So that would be what I'm fulfilling my promise that we're going to say something about insurance. You got to have insurance on your car. Get it. It's high, you're right. But you haven't seen no trouble until you get a ticket without any insurance. So you call insurance agents, and we have plenty of them. But don't do like some people. They come up to me and say, oh, Miss Luper, I really want to see black people go. I say, okay, well, why don't you become a member of the NAACP, the Chamber of Commerce? Why don't you support black? Oh, Miss Luper, I can't do that. Well, anyway, that's what comes from living with blacks. And just because you're black, it doesn't mean that you have friends. Because I often tell all of you that a black snake will bite you as quick as any other. And if you go out to the cemetery, and if you had the magical power to call all of the people that have been killed by black people, you would find that those numbers would outnumber those that have been killed by whites. So what you've got to do is to realize that just because a person is black, it doesn't mean that they aren't going to lie to you, they aren't going to curse you, they aren't going to take your husband or your wives or what have you. Just realize that, and we will all understand, and we all can become blackologists.
That's right. That's right. We're going to go ahead and take the last call of the Open Mic Show. And good morning, caller. You're on Open Mic. Do you have a question or comment?
Yes, I have a question for Miss Luper. Good morning, Miss Luper and April. And is that Roscoe with you?
Excuse me. It's Forrest Lee.
Oh. Sorry, Forrest.
With the Capitol Chamber. Go ahead, caller.
Miss Luper.
Yes.
Congratulate you on all your progress that you made for all of us. Because without people like you, we probably would not have the breathing air that we have today in this area. Being such a strong place when it comes to limiting my abilities and my ability to grow and use that as I grow. But I wanted to ask you, I had young people listening to you the other day, and I'm so strongly encouraging them to not use the W word. So I want to get you to explain to them today why people of our generation, mine and yours, I don't know if you're older than me or not, but why do we continue to call Caucasians white people? We know that there's no such thing as a white person, but we use that, and I want you to explain to them, because they're listening to you now, why you use that terminology.
Well, I use the terminology because I wanted to.
Oh, okay.
That's the main thing. In the first place, we have been so concerned with words.
Mm-hmm.
You know, once upon a time we were slaves, and then we were colored, and then we were black, and then we were African American. And when we went to the bank, we still didn't have no money to deposit. So what difference basically would it mean if I call you a Caucasian or white or what have you? I cannot run away from my background. I'm from Hoffman, Oklahoma, where my parents called the white people there white. Mm-hmm. Why should I get so educated that I can't say white?
Well, the reason why I'm saying is because it means pure without fault.
Well, I don't know. I mean, once again, we go into interpretation.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I was out buying some black paint yesterday, and I found out that they had to mix it with white and a lot of things before I could get black. So I don't spend time with young people explaining. What I would like for young people to do in place of being hung up on names and what have you, to look inside their brains and realize that they must develop themselves. Because if they don't learn, it's going to be hell is going to be a bit harder for them on earth. Mm-hmm. And they'd like for you to talk about our culture and where we, all of that. But we aren't going to have no culture if these kids don't learn their lessons in school. So that's what I would like to talk to them about and tell them, I say, bring those grades up. Decide what you want to do. Go on to the top. I'm not going to discuss with you what I can discuss with you that you must find a cure for cancer.
Mm-hmm. All right, caller, do you have another question or comment?
It was just basically, I just wanted her to explain, because, see, they don't understand why a lot of elders still do that when there's so many of us trying to stop that for the simple fact that that allows them to think that they are superior.
Well, I don't know, because I know a lot of whites who don't think they are superior.
Mm-hmm. Well, they are.
I have the, wait now. I have the opportunity, in fact, I'll be at various white churches. And when I go in, you can't tell me that you are superior to me. Superior in what? That's the issue. And I would like to say to all of you that in place of discussing who's superior and who is this, we've got to discuss what we can do. Because I know if I would go into a hospital today, I would be so ignorant as to the equipments and things to use that I know everybody in there. My little niece, Pat, Germany, would be able to show me more than I've even known. They are taking temperature in a way that when I was in the hospital, we didn't. So tell our young people to develop, get on internet, learn something except sitting around talking about what's in a name and changing your name, because a rose is a rose is a rose.
That's right. We're going to go ahead and wrap it on up. It's 10:11, and Mrs. Luper, once again, Ms. Luper, it's been a pleasure having you in. I look forward to you being back tomorrow. And thank you, Forrest Lee, and then also Alexis Brown. And good luck to you with the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant. And I will be there. And we're going to go ahead and sign on off. You have been listening to Power Jam at 1140. We jam the city. We are a Perry Broadcasting entity located right at 1528 Northeast 23rd Street, right in the heart of the hood, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.